Welcome to Humanity Unboxed with me, Michelle, and Michael Magrutsche in Laguna Beach. How are you? How are you, Michael?
Alive.
Alive.
You know the answer.
I
As long
do.
as I show up, I'm alive.
Yes. So I'm very happy you're alive and you're showing up here today. We are still on the topic of trust, specifically the magic of trust, because I think I love magic. I know people
Yeah,
say
yeah.
magic is not real, but I think trust builds magic. When we trust, we let go of control, maybe. And that is where maybe we find magic.
You trigger me like crazy. Okay, so the so why you like magic? Magic is nothing. You know, magic is something. Is everything. It's
Mm,
creativity too. Magic is you call something magic because you don't understand it. So if we would have an iPhone in the Middle Ages, right?
yeah,
People would say, "Oh, that's crazy." We would be burned on the stake because we had
yeah,
an iPhone. You know. But once it's we become conscious of it, and I know why you love magic. I love magic too. I like the unknown. I don't like the
yeah,
known. I don't care about the known.
yeah.
I care about the unknown to become and actually bring the known into context. That
Mhm.
is, and I think this is coming all in. It's
Yeah,
like, it's just, I like to bring in the discover, unveil, uh, explore, the unknown. And I think that's why we are the collective creator, the collaborative creator and a
yeah,
species of nature, because we want to explore, find new, and what is unknown is more interested than what's known. Uh, you
well,
know,
there's
uh,
more possibility in the unknown, isn't there? Within the known, it's we already know, so what's the point?
but the
unless
whole
you
thing,
know unless
they,
we're so conditioned that we
yeah,
just want to repeat the patterns and do the same thing, and I think can't think of anything worse. And that's what magic is for me.
but
Magic
you
is,
walk,
yeah,
you like to walk, right?
yeah,
Every day.
yeah, well, mostly.
Would you walk if would you walk the same day? That's why it's so I don't like to go in a gym.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. But I can walk forever. I can just walk because there's always something to discover. There's always magic. We
yeah,
call it magic, but the magic has it's just this is interesting too. The
yeah.
system relevance of magic is power without no basis. There's no it's just like, oh, I'm gonna turn you into a frog.
But
That's is
okay,
that magic?
this is what words are, right? So
Yeah,
magic, if we think of magic, we think of witches and spells, and
yeah,
for me there's very much a feminine kind of energy around
yeah,
magic. But is it ungrounded? Is it that the power was taken away from the witch, was maybe just connected to nature,
yeah.
knew which
Exactly.
plants to use, which herbs, so there was a
Yeah,
trust, symbiotic relationship with the environment, and say the
yeah,
witch or the woman, who works on more of an
yeah,
intuitive
yeah.
um, sense in the first place. So,
Mhm.
is magic connected to intuition? Yeah,
I think you are absolutely right. But it's actually the human-centric stuff.
mm,
The witches were the human-centric, and the people that actually burned them were the system relevant. Church, kings, you know, were the
men.
system relevant, and it's always, yeah, yeah. No, it's always. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
don't want to
joking.
do it, but
I'm
no, no,
just
I'm not
pulling a
putting it.
leg,
No,
but yeah,
I want to do it. No, I want to know. Men, of course, are the more linear. They are the more they could more. They were they could be powerful by being linear. Well,
if
the
we
woman,
generalize, because
yeah,
all men have a feminine in them as well, and all women have
exactly.
masculine in them as well. So we just generalizing as to the patriarchy, maybe not
Yeah,
necessarily men in
yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah. Because
individual form.
there were a lot of magician men.
Yeah,
Where to actually
wizards
the
and
man magician, not the woman, but the
yeah,
man magician were for the king. Merlin was for the king, right?
yeah.
It's not. It wasn't for the. Wasn't a woman for the king? It
No.
was. No. So
Well, maybe the king had his witches who, but it wasn't public because it
yeah,
was a
exactly.
shameful
It
thing
wasn't
to
system
be a
relevant.
powerful woman.
Yeah,
And it's still today. I mean, women aren't supposed to be powerful. Yeah, they're supposed to be something else. I don't know.
yeah. No, they're one-on-one humans. That's it, and that's why I say trust. Has a lot to do with truth, because we are 8 billion people that are all one-on-one. Look at your family, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's one. Yep. And so we have different truths. So when you come from uh, my observation of life, we all live the same life, and all have 8 billion observation of that life. So if I'm seeing my life in a drama or a system relevant or whatever, my truths are different than yours, and therefore I can't trust you, because I sent you to a doctor and you must systemically get healthy. And if you're not getting healthy, it's your fault.
yeah, yeah.
So my truth, if I'm very system relevant, is completely different than your truth, and therefore I cannot trust you.
But
The trust
therefore,
is
we
broken.
can't trust the truth either. So the truth
No,
does
no,
not exist. It is a
exactly.
subjective
Yeah,
thing that creates mistrust between us as humans.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the there was something I wanted. Yeah, but there is some absolute truth. For example, gravity, right? Everybody is
It's an
affected by gravity.
experience. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes
experience.
I
Yeah,
experience gravity in a different way than I
yeah,
do other times.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That's
a
true. Yeah,
collective experience. Whether it's a truth is something else, you know. It
yeah,
is a
yeah,
truth in that we experience this thing that keeps us to the ground.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just having it's just so funny. I have a police just stopped a Range Rover,
Yeah.
and the guy is blowing himself up like just in his statue. A woman, right? And
Okay.
it's just very funny. See,
Yeah.
it's like they live other truths. They live other.
Yeah. And trust, you know,
Yeah,
so
that's
they
yeah,
can be look and feel stronger, maybe trust in themselves if I
exactly,
look a
exactly.
certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think is trust really needs to be always connected in the context with truth, because when we have different truths, how can we trust? I mean, it's challenged. The trust is challenged when we have different truths. When my truth is, oh, you got to go system relevant, and your truth is, no, you got to go nature,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That
Or we need to disconnect ourselves from this illusion of truth because there is no even to me absolute truth because we don't know anything, so everything we
yeah,
know
exactly.
constantly changes, and
Yeah.
therefore we can't have an absolute truth. There can't be just one way. There can
Hmm.
be one way that makes sense to us in this moment,
Hmm.
and that brings trust back to kind of the moment. Like we can't trust the past or the future because
No,
neither of those
obviously, yeah,
exist. So, it is a very much living in the moment if we want to talk about trust and the magic it
exactly.
creates.
Yeah,
Because when we
exactly.
trust, we let go of the idea of an absolute or possibility of an absolute truth.
And actually, we, we could trust life in the moment, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm asking,
Yeah.
is this, I'm not saying that is, but I'm
Mm.
asking you, if it resonates with you, that we can trust in the moment,
Yeah.
to be with, also the human centricity,
Mm.
because I wouldn't do double blind studies. I don't even trust the double-blind studies, because they found out that double-blind studies, even the intent that you want to get it right or left, affects the thing. So it's not
Yeah.
that you watch it; it actually what you intend to it. So
Yeah.
again, it's definitely more trustworthy and more truth in the human-centric realm, where we understand that everybody is one-on-one,
Mm.
versus in the system relevant that generalizes and distorts it. See,
Yeah.
because all women, all men, it
Mm.
generalize, and every time we generalize it, we go against the human-centric, which is one-on-one. We collaborate, right?
Mm.
And also the thing is, we don't trust humans. The mass killing that we do in wars and poison people and do whatever is an unawareness, because nature made us that way, right?
Yeah.
And if I take a species out of nature, everything has to adjust, and
Mm.
so the humans are made to adapt. That's, when your kid dies or your husband dies, you can adapt to that. You have a way the whole family adapts. But when
Yeah. I want to pause there for a second
go
because
go go
we 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 are forced to try to adapt. You know, I don't know if it is an inherent thing in us necessarily in those circumstances. Um,
But if you if you
you know,
if something happens
yeah.
in a group, right, and somebody dies, somebody else takes the not as good, probably, because that was the uniqueness of that person
Mm.
to do this thing. But
Mm.
what is the group, the tribe is adapting.
Yeah.
Okay, we had an earthquake, we had this is the guy drunk, got you know what is it called when you go underwater and die?
Uh, oh, drown.
He drowned. Yeah, yeah, he drowned. Super. Two dyslexics. I love it. So yeah, it drowned. So somebody drowned or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
made a mistake. Other people take on the thing, but when we have mass millions like Ukraine, million people dying, I think we have to adapt to take those what they supposed to contribute to humanity.
Mm.
We have to adapt to that. The more people we randomly kill, not naturally kill, randomly kill, uh, and or poison or thing, the more we have to take up. So when everybody's tired because they don't eat the good food, or EMFs and all this stuff, because we just don't want to think and
Yeah.
be aware of stuff, the more other people, the leftover humans have to do the. That's why we want to create. That's why I think this the drive to create AI and all that stuff to to do all this stuff. And then you hear the AI people say, we don't know what's going on when humans have nothing to work anymore. There will be never ever that humans don't have to work. Not to work in a job. I'm not talking
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
but to contribute,
Yeah.
because we created AI. It changed our lives, and we don't have jobs, for example. So we will decide what it's a tool.
Exactly. Well, that's also trusting in
Exactly.
your reason for being, your beingness. AI can never take a person's humanness, and you know, there's a Buddhist saying, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, and I don't even know if it's Buddhist. I just know it's a saying.
It's
Chop,
monkey.
it's monkey.
Yeah.
Chop water, chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
AI can't chop wood or carry water,
Exactly.
um, because that is how we engage with ourselves and the
Nature
world around us. Yeah,
and nature. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it can do it. You see, that's why I say we try to cheat our own. We don't try to face that we don't trust humanity, and we don't trust humans. We don't want to face that. because that's distorted, because that's system relevantly distorted, because we can absolutely trust human, but when we think that we are all the same, it's all a competition. It's not a collaboration.
Yeah.
And when it's a
Can we trust
competition,
humans though? You know?
what?
Can
But
we trust humans? I don't think the
I think we
people in
can.
Gaza or in
Those are
Ukraine
system
think
conditioned.
that.
Those people are system conditioned. We cannot
Well, they,
trust system conditioned.
yeah, but then they also just human centrics. I mean, those children in Gaza aren't system, relevant. They're just trying to survive, and they are being killed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
so we can't
systemically,
trust
just
in that environment. Um, there's no trust.
do you mean we can trust the children in Gaza, or the children in Gaza cannot?
The
What
children
do you
in
mean?
Gaza can't trust that
No,
they
anybody.
will
No, no,
live.
no. There is
Yeah,
no, because it's system relevant overwhelm. It's
yeah,
system relevant overwhelm. It's like generalizing, the leader. Uh, all the leaders. If you have the worst leader, Stalin, Hitler, you have Mussolini. All these people. And it's funny, Mussolini didn't do it because the Italians are so, dancing so much.
yes,
But Hitler and Stalin, you think, oh, they were the worst people or whatever. I mean, we reflect that onto the people, the Jews, right? We reflect that on. It's Netanyahu. It's the leader. It's not the Jews. The Jews are humans. They just have that label Jew, Palestinian, Nazi. I mean, they want to generalize humans and say, oh, you're not, look at what we do with the media now. Everybody's
yeah.
called a Nazi salute, Nazi thing. What is this? This is every time you do this thing, when you generalize and say, oh, it's just a stupid woman. Oh, it's just a stupid guy. Oh, the Jews, the blacks, the this and that. When you say that, you actually amplify humans are not trustworthy. Humans are flawed. Humans are not system relevant. Humans are not doing the right thing. That system says that not, and systems don't say it. It says the leadership of system demands that to manipulate the people. So how can you trust?
This is, yeah, exactly. How can we trust unless we start with ourselves? Unless we
Exactly.
start learning how to trust our own
Mm-hmm.
intuition. In the Wisdom Seekers, we now do, our theme is trust, and we're looking at chakras and energy
Yeah.
centers, whatever you want to call them. And this month it's the solar plexus, and I find the solar plexus is here just above your navel, like under
Yeah.
your, and there's so much there as to that gut feeling, that
Yeah.
knowing what you can trust. But we've been told to not listen to that because we must, follow the rules or listen to the
And
government or
it's the
blah blah
detail.
blah.
Detail.
Yeah.
The thing is in the detail,
Mm.
because we have referred to our six senses, right? The sixth sense of I'm resonating with it, the sixth sense.
Yeah.
So we refer to that. We also know that I'm when I um, when I feel a feeling, an emotion like anger, it's not I am angry, so I feel anger, and that
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
through. I don't know where it is. I don't need to know where it's from. It will show up to me. So if I feel angry, doesn't mean and that goes through me. And obviously, system relevant psychology, uh, uh, you know, manipulated that in a way to make that system relevant, to make all humans the same. They say you can't trust your emotion, which is true, because when you when you believe that you are, when your condition says, oh, you feel anger, and now, oh, you are angry, that's bad.
Yeah.
See, you lose completely the essence what an emotion is.
Mm.
Then you cannot trust your feelings, because
Yeah.
you're so the more system relevant anybody is in your group of wisdom seekers, for example,
Mm.
the more the less they can trust, because they're generalized. When
Yeah.
when I feel a feeling, I feel a feeling.
Mm.
It's not I feel a feeling. That's not me being jealous, me being angry, me having rage. I feel rage. I will
Yeah.
spit it out,
Yeah.
but that has not, because that will show the other thing, because rage is helplessness, right? It's
Mm.
a thing. It will find my power, because it will just let go from something, a distortion, system relevant distortion or anything, and will allow me to see that, and then trust in that process. And see, trust has something to do with experience.
Yeah.
So you and me, after 50 episodes, we have a total different. It's like, I don't think our thing have much changed, our thing, but we have a trust towards each other, that we always know, no matter if I have technical problem, we get it done.
Yeah.
And that trust, you have to have a partner. If you trust another partner, a partner that actually, it doesn't matter what comes out. It's not about the end result. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can trust that. It's not about the end result. It's not about, oh, if we have 15,000 bot followers, like everybody else,
Yeah.
right? We want just the 3 people that
Yeah.
enjoy this, yeah?
Yeah.
And when I can trust that, then I can trust. And
Mm.
I will never say, oh my God, if I don't show up, if something happens. No, it always happens.
Because there's a connection, there's an understanding, there's a knowing, there's
Yeah,
a yeah. It reminds me, because I'm me and trees. I love trees, and I've
yeah,
just been kind of feeling into trees more, and how there is the mycelium, and how that works with the trees,
yeah,
as to, the one tree doesn't have enough water, then we push more water through to that tree, or the one tree is dying, then the network, you know absorbs it or moves on, because there's a trust and a knowing in, I'm individual, I'm an individual expression of the collective.
101,
Yeah.
and the whole. Yeah, it's that.
And the
It's the
whole,
same.
exactly.
We, we,
So I can
we
trust,
yeah,
firstly, in me, and because I can trust in me, I know I can
exactly.
trust in you. But if I can't trust in me,
Yeah,
then I'm never going to be able to trust in
and
you.
that is exactly what the system says. The system wants you not to trust yourself.
Yeah.
There's a dating app, because we help you dating, and now, after 10 years of dating apps, people find out that actually the dating app gets more money the longer you scroll, versus to hook you up. At the beginning,
Oh
actually,
yeah,
it
of
worked.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you are told and conditioned, not trust yourself. You will be alone forever, blah 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 blah. You need the app to have a possibility that you might get a relationship sooner or later, but
Mm.
more later, because the more later you get it, the more money we make, the more we can survive. So it's actually that's why it's so important to segregate in the mind. Not, we have to dance both ways, system relevance and human centricity. But number one, human centricity is number one with nature, and then the system relevance is number two, and it is completely different. It is a different culture. Like, you're going to a different culture. You're going to a synagogue versus you go to a Christian church or a Muslim church.
Yeah.
It's a different culture,
Yeah.
and so you need to know the difference. uh, I'm now here versus I'm now there,
Mm. But I'm still me. So
yeah,
if
and you
I'm
fit.
connected with myself, and I can trust in this
uh,
magic, then it will come naturally, whether
yeah,
I need to wear a head covering, or whether I need to
yeah,
wear whatever it is. It doesn't change who I am. You see, Michael, it's summer's coming and my fly is back.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
just when I
I
sit
didn't
here.
hear it. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's around.
Yeah,
So yeah, it still comes back to, and I think, you mentioned the dating app. It's the same with the
yeah,
media, whether it's social
yeah,
media,
yeah,
or publications. they all get more views and reads and money and attention if they can create
A
distrust,
lack,
mistrust. Yeah,
a lack or distrust, or say it's the human's fault. It's always the human's fault. So when a system cannot help you, it's your fault. It's always your fault. It's never the
yeah,
system's fault because the system is so powerful. How can it be the system's fault? It can't be. It has to be the human's fault. So
mm,
systems always segregate because systems got away from. See, it system when the tribe did systems, which we talked, previously on this stuff, with somebody takes care of the horses, somebody takes care of cooking, somebody takes care of the kids. That was a service that the system served the thing, but now it's humans serving the systems and making the system money because the system humans have it goes in a bell curve. It's like sometimes we need more, sometimes we need less. In winter we need more of this, in summer it's like up and down and up and down. But
yeah,
system relevance is money all the time because the blood of systems is money. And when you make money the spirit, which we can go up and down, and so you have a little less food, you have a little less water, you have a little. So that's the adapt. That's actually why we adapt. That we
yeah,
can adapt to the flow of life, right?
yeah.
And in
Well,
that
that's
flow,
also the measure of intelligence is how easily we can adapt to change. So
yeah,
how easily can we be aware of what how we can adapt, how we can
yeah,
become part of in as a one of one within that collective, within the
yeah.
whole.
And
Yeah,
the reason why we are one-on-one and why we can adapt is to contribute with our one-on-oneness to humanity, not to a system, not to something that's artificially. It's like I created an artwork and said, please all pray to the artwork. That doesn't work, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, exactly. um but I can get you to distrust yourself if you're praying to the artwork, because then
Exactly.
then you are placing your trust in
Yeah.
an external space thing that's
Yeah,
not
because
you.
it's a product. It's not
Yeah,
the
it's
process of the thing, it's the product.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
God. This was like a lecture.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to kind of
Yeah.
to leave our magic for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
And
unknown. I always say unknown.
unknown.
Because
Yes.
the system relevance doesn't get magic. They have the
Yeah.
magic words. So thing I say the unknown, the revealing of the unknown is magic.
Yeah.
The playing with the unknown is actually magic. The playing, not being intimidated of magic, but actually playing with it, playing with the unknown. You know.
Well,
Uh,
exactly. I think the system has made magic seem scary, which it's not.
no,
Um,
no.
yeah,
Of course
magic
it did
is magic.
because it wants to do the knowing and repeat the knowing and control with the knowing. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
that's why. God, we have solved everything.
Mm.
So
We've solved it.
we
Thank you
solved.
so much. We will carry on the trust narrative
Yeah,
still next week, because we're all about trusting and trusting in the magic,
yeah,
maybe. Um,
perfect.
so let's do that.
Yeah,
Have an amazing
perfect.
day.